Hello ladies and gentlemen, MarauderEX here with Let's Play Mystaria Realms of Lore Part 29. As you can see, I've moved over here to the town that's in the forest that we can't get to any other way. This is the legendary town of Badalum. We're actually not going to enter at the moment, because there's only two things really in here. There's a weapon shop that's got some really good weapons, but I'm close to maxed out on anything that I can buy. There's a couple of pieces that I need for my other group of people that I'm not actually using on a regular basis. And there's an arena, which it's a standard arena, but then at the very back you can see there's a building that is the legendary Badalum Battle Maze, which I don't really want to do, but I'm probably going to do it. It's a huge undertaking. You don't get XP or gold from it unless you do something fun, which I'm not planning on doing. So yeah. But you can get items, and a lot of the best items in the game are in there. So I'm gonna start showing off some of the side stuff, and I'm probably not going to finish all of the side stuff in one video, but I will show off each individual place. So we're going to go into the Spirit Forest here, and we get to take a group of 6, and we're going to take Galford, because he is invaluably useful when we train him up. He has stealing abilities, and then he also has ranged abilities. So, what we're looking at is just all the side battle mission type things. And all this really is just battles so that you can grind. But I'm not going to be doing too much grinding because there's no point in it. I do want some of the items that are in these forests, so I will be going after those. Like treasure chest, but the whole thing is I want to show off the crystals. So I'm going to get as much of this fight done in one video as possible, and then probably cut it at the end and show you the section and just put that in. So I may cut the commentary now. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm not entirely sure. Can I hit them both with Stormblade from back here? Yes, I can. Thank you. Awesome. See, these things are less than threatening at the moment. So what I'll probably do is I will probably cut the live commentary here, and that way I can just record this and fast forward through all of it so you guys can see what it is I'm doing. And then I'll do post commentary to explain when we get to the end and all that. So yeah, I will kind of catch you all in the future, so to speak. Okay, so we've sped up time by 2 times. So this fight, getting everything together, took me about 24 minutes total. And wasn't really all that impressive. I learned steel technique with Hawk, or Gulford. Damage of the Beast there. That was kind of cool. I really kind of wish I'd stayed doing live commentary for that, because I just kind of started giggling, and like, that's a bad sign of things to come, really. That's... Alright, so we got Steel Tech, which, as you would imagine, lets you steal attack. Some techniques can only be learned this way. And if you fail, you still get money. So, I mean, it's not all that, you know, bad of a technique to use. And it's really one of the best things that Hawk has going for him, is because he can help us learn attacks, period. It's actually kind of useful. And I tried to use Great Throw on a bird, and it wouldn't let me. I'm not entirely sure why. And Reiko learns a new technique, Charge Strike. which is kind of cool. He just kind of slides through you. So, lots of new techniques, and I thought that I had to get everyone to the crystal, but I forgot that this being an optional battle, I don't have to do anything. I can just come here and keep going through this all the time and get a ton of free experience and not have to ever worry about... Well, granted, eventually you're going to get crap experience from these things, but the theory is you can just keep retreating. So... yeah, I really don't have too much else to say other than I hope you enjoy watching the sped up fight. I got tired of doing, defending for everyone. Granted, everyone does kind of need to learn their technique, and I don't know what was going on here. I kind of just screwed up, and I'm now on... I guess I must have wandered away from the system for a second, not realized it. So, yeah, mazel tov to that. I could have just cut that out and it would have been fine. But, I'm also... I haven't added in a music track to this because I didn't want to have the game soundtrack. And... because it was sped up 2 times. And while this has good music, it's not really all that good, at double tempo. So... and I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to do the battle and fights. I didn't do it in this block. I really don't know if I'm going to do that. I really don't. So, one thing that is the reason why I'm not sure I want to do it. You can't learn... You can't gain experience or gold in the maze, but you get a lot of treasure, but I don't really need that treasure. I'm doing pretty well as it is, because one thing about this game, the max level is level 30. You can't get any higher than level 30. At least that's everything that I've seen as far as guides, and I don't remember ever getting higher than 30. I never remember getting to 30, honestly. But I've got one more... at least one more of Bane's generals to deal with, so long as no one else makes a surprise appearance that I'm forgetting about. We've got Blue Wolf Caliban to deal with. So that's another boss fight where I'll get a fair bit of XP. And then I know the final series of boss fights, plural, I get a fair chunk of XP from as well. So by the time I get to the actual final boss fight, I should be close to level 30 because I'm hitting 20 with everyone now, and most guides that I've seen say you kind of want to be upper 20s before you get into the section. But I'm doing pretty well as it is. I've got most of my people trained up with their skills pretty high. Plus, I'm going to be learning a fair number of skills through steel technique, so it'll be worthwhile. I can probably just beat the game now. There is one more side quest that I'm debating on doing, other than the battle arena, or the battle maze. There is a side quest involving getting Reiko a support item, which it's another fight, and it's really the only other optional thing in this game. So I probably will do it just to do it, because there's really not too much to this game. I'm gonna finish a tactics-based RPG in, you know, probably less than 30 parts. That's kind of saying something. I mean, this isn't a very long game, but it is entertaining and rewarding. It does require a little bit of power leveling, but most tactics games require a little bit of power leveling, because unless you are a perfect tactician, you're gonna make a move that's just gonna screw you up. Like, I've talked about how I'm planning on doing a playthrough of Shining Force. That's going to well, most of the Shining Forces. I'm going to do Shining Force 2 and Shining Force 3 as far as the tactics-based games. So those are going to kind of mess with me for a little while. But, oh yeah, you get to see Meteor Storm. That's just a fun attack. Vargas, however his name is pronounced, he gets some really fun spells, and because he has attack magic, Aragon and Sora can learn them too. So you can walk away with some really fun techniques based off of what you learn from him. It's like when Zareth joined us. He's just so much higher than the rest of us. But in this fight, Aragon learns probably the most useful sword skill there is in the game. It's called Vampire Sword, which you'll see it here when he goes around to get the treasure chest. It is drain, basically. It drains health from an opponent and gives it back to you. So that makes him not quite self-sufficient, but it comes close. Because I've yet to run into a magic-resistant enemy in this game. In fact, most enemies are weak to magic because they require magic to hit them. Either the undead in the tower or the invisible enemies require magic. So there's not too many that are strong against magic. So that's... yeah. And he can also use Judgment. I forgot about that. Which he's never going to use. Because, as you saw when I used Judgment the last time, granted, a 50-50 chance, that's a 50-50 chance. You really want to do it when you are in a cluster of bad guys that you know you can't kill in one hit with an AoE. So you want to just take one of them out. Granted, I'm still more of the opinion that I can go through with a AoE and do a massive amount of damage and then finish up with someone else's AoE and just wipe like 6 people off all at once instead of Judgment to knock one person off at once. That just doesn't make that much sense to me. But, you know, to each their own. There's so many different ways to do this as a strategy that it's kind of... Alright, so we've got Galford to the crystal, and it doesn't matter what he says, because he's talking about selling it. He wants to sell the crystal, which, you know, that's okay, that's fine. Well, he's a thief, it's in his nature. But I want to get everyone else up to look at it too, so we send Reiko up, and reflection of a castle, but everyone treats it like it's some sort of illusion, like they can't be seeing what they're seeing. And now we go back into real time. I'll move Galford out of the way, and then move Aragon up. I give up before I get him there, I believe. I may show off what he says. I'm not entirely sure. But the thing is, these crystals are in an optional battle, but they are actually kind of a driving force behind the story that we will learn about later. And it's kind of irresponsible of the designers to put these in this fashion, because you sit here and you look at it, this is an optional fight, so when you come into this fight, there's nothing leading you here, there's no reason for you to come here other than the treasure, and you don't even know about that until you walk in. And when you spend all this time trying to get to these crystals and they don't tell you anything until close to the very end of the game, that's just kind of irresponsible for the game design. It's like, if they're that important, they should have talked about them to some extent in the story. But I'm not a game designer, so I guess I didn't understand how it worked. But everyone at this fight jumps up to level 20. So, well, everyone who's in this fight who's 19, everyone gets pretty much a level or close to it. So, I will go ahead and end this video here, and I will see you all in our next installment. Till then, later everyone.